So, can we talk? Can we talk about temping now?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Yes, and you love temping.
I
Hmm.
love it. I love
Yeah.
it, love it. And the reason I love it is because it's flexible for my work life schedule. Because again, this week, for instance, I'm speaking 3 times in 1 week in three different states and 3 different cities.
Ooh.
So if I was committed right now to working, a lot of hygiene,
Hmm.
I would have to say I might not be able to speak as much. I might
Hmm.
not be able to say yes.
Hmm.
But there's months where I'm at home and it's a slow speaking season, and I'm like, I got out of the house. I've had too much a long time. I need to get out of here to be productive. So in those cases, I love to temp. And,
Hmm.
it's great because if I spend a little too much money at TJ Maxx, I
Yeah.
can pick up in a couple extra days and pay
Yeah.
for it. Or,
Yeah.
if I know I have a vacation coming up, I can add some extra days before
Okay.
the vacation.
So,
Um,
where do you find those jobs?
yeah. So there's tons of agencies out there. Oftentimes the agencies work where they call you. You sign up with them. You go through an interview process. You
Hmm.
prove that you're registered in the state, um,
Hmm.
and that you are certified to give local anesthesia. That all your credentials are up to date. And from there, what you do is, you'll tell them what days you want to work and how far you want to travel. They'll
Hmm.
put you on a list, and when one of their offices calls, they can tell you where it is, how far it is, and what the rate is per hour. Then
Hmm.
you get a check after that. So
Hmm.
that's one model.
Hmm.
Another model that I use and I love is an app. And the
Hmm.
app is very similar to like a Lyft or an Uber.
Hmm.
So what it does is it shows you where the office is located, the
Hmm.
rate which it is, and the hours, how
Hmm.
far it is from your house, and you can apply. So
Hmm.
that's how I do it. There's no phone calls. There's nothing like that. So
Okay.
for me, I have a profile. I have, 5 stars on it. It
Mhm.
shows my headshot. It shows my resume. It shows what I'm looking for. It shows
Okay.
the hours I'm available.
Mm-hmm.
And then based on, each time you can apply for the job if you're available. And if you're
Hmm.
not available, you don't have to apply.
Awesome. What is it called again?
So this app is called Stint, Stynt.
Stynt.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that in the East Coast region?
It's in the East Coast region. It started in Boston. So I was
Okay.
lucky enough to be
Yeah.
here when it started.
Okay.
Um,
So I see it here. I just quickly Googled it.
yeah.
This is it, right? Okay.
Yep.
And
And
by
you
the way,
make
we're
rates.
not affiliate with them. We're not doing promotion with them. This is just an honest conversation, right? Yep. All right. So stint, awesome, awesome
Yeah.
tool. I mean, so if you're on the West Coast, you can get this. Just search out there what temp options they are or what agency or what app they are. I'm pretty sure there would be something.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And I know that this one is working on getting more states involved in things like that. But
Okay.
this has been a huge supporter of me, especially as I transition from the operatory to doing
Mhm.
different things in my career.
Okay. In general, what does the interview process look like if you are working with an agency that helps you with placement?
So the agency that helps with placement is it's a very similar interview um, if you are going to for a regular job. The
Mm-hmm.
more experience you have, the easier it is for you, I think, as a temp, because you get into situations where some offices do show you where everything is. Others, you just get thrown in. So you have to really be flexible. So the
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing when you're interviewing for a temp agency is they want to know that you can remain calm under pressure and be flexible.
I see. So big hint over here. If you try to temp, make sure that they understand you're okay under pressure. You're very independent
Yes.
because you have to come up with your own solutions if they don't show you what everything is. Maybe also being super social because you need to make friends right away when you walk in.
You sure do.
Everybody's your
Sure
friend
do.
like the first 10 seconds, right? And also be able to just be responsible. And if you're temping for 1 day or two, you treat the patients as they were your own and you would keep seeing them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
also
And document the same way.
this document same way. Okay. Do you bring any toolkits or anything that helps you with like patient care in case they don't have something you want?
So I usually bring a couple sets of instruments that I previously sterilized and have with me. I usually keep them in like one of my loop containers.
Mm-hmm.
I have a big loop set up, so I have like extra compartments on the side that I can
Mm-hmm.
keep those. And I like to have them, even honestly, if it's 3 or 4 scalers that, if it's a universal scaler that I can just have in case their instruments completely have no working ends. That's usually what I do. And then when I go back to the offices, I'll know what their technology is, and they'll know me. So I'm more likely to bring more if I need more instruments then.
Okay.
There's also times where I say, hey, these instruments are really dull. Do you have a sharpener that I could use to make sure that I'm protecting the patient?
I see. Okay. I love it. So just bring, a few extra scalers just in case. It doesn't hurt anybody, and it's not too heavy either. It's just a few of them.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Great.
And you want to make sure that you mark them separately so that they don't get lost with the office.
Right, right. I mean, put your name on it, put an extra band or something, a color. Yeah. Okay. And, make sure that they understand they also have to sterilize it for you, right? I mean, you can't come back and just say, oh, by the way, I need the one that I had last week. Yeah. All right. Well, I think it shows great intent when you come with some of your own instruments as well, showing that I'm actually ready for anything you guys have.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be a ninja at the end of the day. MacGyver kind of on the spot if you're temping, All right. So temping is great. Now pay. Can we just talk a little bit about pay for temp? How is it? Higher in general?
The thing that I love the most about the app that I was telling you about is I can set my rate. So let's say an office says, this is the job. We want to offer you, $32 an hour.
Yeah.
I can go ahead and say, you know what, that is way below the rate in Massachusetts. So my rate is going to be 46. And with my experience, it's going to be higher. So I can go ahead and name my rate. And then from there, that office decides who's going to get the job.
I see.
So for me, the reason I love this app is because I can, number one, set my own rate. I don't have to pick up the phone and say, I can't work that day. I can work that day. I can just click on my phone and don't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And then of course you get paid right away. So you get paid within 2 business days from the app.
Okay.
So
it's not like a week process or something they have to do. Okay.
Right.
And do they pay you via, you just link your bank account or something like that?
I link my bank account. I also would suggest that you talk to your accountant if you decide that you're going to be doing a lot of temping, because there's different opinions on the 1099 versus not. And I often file mine under my business because I have my own, business entity. So that's how it protects me. And I end up, you have to pay, taxes in if you are not having the taxes taken out.
Okay. Yeah. Make sure that you are putting it in a way that, you owe taxes on that. All that $50 is not $50 at the end of the day because they haven't deducted that yet, like a, salary.
Right.
Okay, great. And from stint or other things, an agency, do they take a cut?
I'll be honest. I'm not sure about certain agencies all over the country. I know that the other ones that are local, they take a cut from the doctor. But the hygienist really isn't affected. Okay. So that's something to think about as well, is making sure that knowing that the doctor is paying an agency to be there and that you're representing the agency. And again, if you make a great experience, if you go in, you do a great job, you're going to be busy. They call me, they request me. I mean, I get offices all the time who are emailing saying, hey, can you come in if you're available? I'm going to put the job up. If you're not, we'll wait till you're available. We'll move it to whatever day you can do this week. So it's a huge honor to be able to say that and be in demand, because it's great for the patients. It's also great for you.
Great. So you also represent the agency that will keep you busy. So it's important to build a good relationship, not just with the office, but also the agency itself.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And it seems like the app can rate you just like an Uber as well. So everything is transparent now. We have to put our best foot forward every single day. Smile if we don't feel like sometimes, right? But at the end, you're providing an awesome service by doing dental hygiene to your patients. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that. Now, just the last question I would like to ask is, are there any other tips that you would like to share with anybody, whether it's a new grad or someone who went on a maternity leave or who had 20 years of experience but want just a better job, on how to really approach the office or how to interview better to get that dream job?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the most important thing with any job
Mm-hmm.
is attitude.
Mm.
Attitude is everything. So if you go in with a great attitude, if you're willing to learn, if you really want to grow and you're willing
Mm-hmm.
to be open to new techniques, be
Yeah.
open to learning, that's the biggest thing, because I find that whether you're a new grad or you've been doing hygiene for 30, 40 years,
Yeah.
the doctors are really looking for an attitude that is superior. And it's not always about your skills, to be honest. I've seen and worked with people who have hired people who are less experienced,
Yeah.
simply because their attitude was better. They were willing to learn.
Okay.
Rompers are not appropriate for interviews, even if they're dressy. Don't go in with a romper on.
Uh-huh.
Don't go in with your bra showing. Don't go in with jeans.
Mm.
Don't go in wearing super stiletto, crazy
Okay.
heels, or sneakers or super non-dressy flats.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you would be wearing something that your grandparents would be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. Your grandparents part of that jacket. Yes.
yes,
Work.
something that would be that you could have a picture if you're going to, I've always pictured if you're going to church, and you would have a high neckline like this. So I wore this shirt today, So if you're talking or interviewing, you're not being distracted. I usually wear my hair down straight. I don't go like big, crazy. I keep it simple. Makeup simple, hair simple, because I can't tell you how many times it's rained right before my interview, and if I had curled it, it would have been like, whoo. So, little things, if you keep it simple, it's going to be easier to maintain for you.
Let's dress like we're going to church or go see your grandparents. That's awesome. I always tell them dress professionally, but this is just an awesome tip. Now I think we all get the picture.
Right. Well, and everyone's definition of professional is different. Mm-hmm. So it's been really fun because I get to work with new grads from the University of New Haven. And I was there one day and the professor had said, "Today, Amber's coming to speak. You need to wear professional attire." And out of 25 students, I judged them only on attire, and they didn't know that they were going to be judged. So I judged them only on attire, and there was one out of 25 who I would have hired. And that's because she didn't come in a flashy color. She didn't have bronzer and contour for days. She just was a really natural, really professional looking. Her hair was back in a low bun. She had little studded earrings and wore a jacket that had clearly been ironed. So,
ironed.
Yeah.
The details. I mean, because we work with detail, we have to provide that level of service as well. Obviously, the employer look at things like that, saying like, are they going to take care of my office as well?
Yes. And the biggest thing too to remember is that you are your brand. So whether that dentist hires you or not, the dental community is extremely small. So there's been times where another candidate has got a job over me, that person says, "Hey, I don't think you're a great fit for me, but I know who you'd be a good fit for." And they've matched me with other people, even if it's a temping job. So it's something that they can connect you with. And the dental industry as a whole is an amazing industry. So once you get connected, there's so many resources and so many great things that you can get involved in.
All right. Amber, you have been extremely just motivational to us, right? And so much, this wealth of information is awesome. Thanks for distilling all that into just a 1-hour content and really just giving us hope that we can find the right job and work in this awesome industry.
Yes. Well, thank you again for having me. And of course, always feel free to reach out with any questions.
And this was Amber. Do you have an email that we can share and or website?
Yes. So my email is Amber Auger. So my first and last name, and then followed by RDH at PennWell.com.
All right.
And then my website is amberauger.com.
All right. Amber Auger. And you do a lot of consulting, speaking, courses. I mean, you probably see her everywhere because she also does what's called Ask Amber on Facebook, and she literally can answer anything you have. So when she's on live, make sure you ask her questions such as like even pay, something we don't really want to talk about. She's there to always tell you the honest story. And if you see her in dental convention, things like that, I encourage you to go shake her hand. She has awesome energy. So thank you so much, Amber, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we'll keep seeing you around and just keep motivating and keep leading people.
Yes. I'm excited.
All right. See you soon.
See you soon.